Here's a list of the Navajo chiefs who signed the Treaty of 1868, which allowed the Navajo people to return to their homeland after being forcibly removed and interned at the Bosque Redondo. Barbencito, Hastiin Narbona. Manuelito, Hastiin Narbona. Delgadito, Bas Isnihi. Armijo, Hastiin O. Largo, Hastiin Datso. Narbono, Hastiin Narbona. These leaders played a crucial role in negotiating the treaty terms and securing the return of the Navajo people to their ancestral land. Barbencito, Hastiin Narbona. Barbencito, known in the Navajo as Hastiin Narbona, was a prominent leader and a chief of the Navajo people during a critical period in their history. Born around 1820, Barbencito was recognized for his wisdom, leadership, and resilience, particularly during the tumultuous times of the Long Walk and the subsequent internment of the Navajo at the Bosque Redondo. Early life and leadership. Barbencito rose to prominence in his community through his innate leadership qualities and deep understanding of Navajo traditions and values. As a chief, he was respected for his diplomatic skills and ability to guide his people through spiritual and temporal matters. In 1864, following a series of conflicts with U.S. military forces, the Navajo were forced to embark on the Long Walk to Bosque Redondo, a brutal 300-mile march to an internment camp in eastern New Mexico. The conditions were harsh, and many Navajos suffered greatly. Barbencito's leadership became crucial during this period as he strove to maintain the morale and the unity of his people. Barbencito's most significantly contribution to the Navajo people was negotiating the Treaty of 1868. Recognized as a skilled negotiator, he was instrumental in articulating the needs and the rights of the Navajo people to the U.S. government. His diplomatic efforts were vital in securing the Navajo release from Bosque Redondo and the establishment of the Navajo reservations, which allowed for a return to their homelands. Barbencito's legacy is a courage of wisdom and unyielding commitment to his people. His leadership during one of the most challenging times for the Navajo not only preserved the social fabric of the tribe, but also set a foundation for its future autonomy and resilience. Today, he is remembered as a symbol of resistance and pivotal in the survival and revival of the Navajo culture and identity. Through his efforts, Barbencito exemplified the qualities of a great leader, ensuring that the Navajo people could once again live according to their traditions and ancestral lands. His story is a testament to the enduring spirit of the Navajo Nation. Number 2, Manuelito, Hastiin Narbona. Manuelito, known in Navajo as Hastiin Narbona, was revered leader and warrior of the Navajo Nation during a time of significant upheaval and change. Born around 1818, he emerged as a pivotal figure, notably recognized for his fierce resistance to U.S. military incursions and his influential role in shaping the future of the Navajo people. His rise marked Manuelito's early years as a leader among the Navajo, where he gained respect for his battle prowess and strategic insight. He was deeply committed to the sovereignty of the Navajo Nation and became one of the most vocal opponents of U.S. expansion into Navajo territories. During the traumatic period of the Long Walk in 1864, when the U.S. military forcibly relocated the Navajo people to Bosque Redondo, Manuelito's leadership took on a new dimension. He was among the last to surrender, continuing to advocate for resistance until the harsh realities of starvation and the decimation of his people compelled him to seek peace. Manuelito's role was crucial in negotiations of the Treaty of 1868. His determination and insight helped secure terms that allowed the Navajo people to return to their homeland with provisions that acknowledged their rights and sovereignty. His leadership was instrumental in rebuilding the Navajo Nation post-internment, focusing on education and economic development to ensure its sustainable future. In the years following the treaty, Manuelito became a staunch advocate for education. He believed that the Navajo to maintain their sovereignty, and adapt to changing times, they needed to embrace education. He famously urged his people to go and learn the ways of the white man, a testament to the foresight and recognizing the importance of education and empowering the Navajo. Manuelito's legacy is marked by his resilience, visionary leadership, and deep love for his people. He is remembered not only as a warrior, but as a statesman who navigated complex negotiations and worked tirelessly for the betterment of the Navajo Nation. His advocacy for education has left a lasting impact, influencing generations, shaping the trajectory of the Navajo people towards self-determination and success. Manuelito remains a towering figure in Navajo history, symbolizing the courage and enduring the spirit of the Navajo Nation in their struggle for survival and sovereignty. His life and leadership inspire pride and respect among Navajo people today. Number 3, Delgadito Bathis Nishi. Delgado, known for Navajo Bathis Nishi, meaning Slim Coyote, was an influential leader of the Navajo Nation during the mid-19th century, a period marked by intense conflicts and negotiations with the United States government. His leadership is particularly noted for the role in the events leading up to and following the Long Walk of the Navajo. Delgadito emerged as a significant leader among the Navajo when the U.S. military was expanding its presence in the West. Known for his diplomatic skills, he often served as a mediator between different Navajo groups and between the Navajo and the U.S. government. His ability to navigate complex social and political landscapes helped maintain cohesion among the Navajo bands during the tumultuous times. During the Long Walk of 1864, Delgadito's leadership was crucial. He was among the chiefs who faced the daunting challenge of leading his people on the forced march to Bosque Redondo. This grueling journey resulted in significant suffering and loss of life among the Navajo. Despite the harsh conditions, Delgadito worked to maintain the spirit of unity of his people. Delgado played a significant role in negotiations of the Treaty of 1868, which ultimately secured the release of the Navajo from Bosque Redondo and established a Navajo reservation. His diplomatic approach was pivotal in articulating the needs and the rights of the Navajo people during their treaty discussions. He advocated for terms ensuring the survival and continuity of the Navajo culture and governance. Following the treaty, Delgadito focused on rebuilding the Navajo community. He encouraged the reestablishing of traditional farming practice and reiteration of Navajo culture and social norms that have been disrupted by the internment. His leadership during this recovery phase was vital in stabilizing the revitalization of the Navajo way of life. Delgadito's importance to the Navajo people lies in his resilience and steadfast leadership during one of the most challenging periods in their history. His diplomacy and community rebuilding efforts have left him a lasting impact on the Navajo Nation, contributing significantly to its resilience and adaptation in the face of adversity. Today, Delgadito is remembered as a leader who embodied the principles of unity and perseverance, essential traits that help guide the Navajo through severe trials and towards a hopeful future. His legacy continues to inspire current and future generations of the Navajo people. Number 4, Armijo Hastiin Narbona. Armijo, known as Hastiin Narbona, was a notable leader of the Navajo Nation during the mid-19th century, a period characterized by significant upheaval due to the increasing pressures and conflicts with the United States government. His leadership is remembered for its strength and resolve during the critical events of the Long Walk and the negotiations that led to the Treaty of 1868. Armijo rose to prominence as a leader at a time when the Navajo were facing increasingly encroachment on their lands and way of life by the U.S. military and its settlers. He was known for his strong leadership qualities and commitment to his people's welfare. As a leader, Armijo was involved in many critical decisions that affected the Navajo during these turbulent times. During the forced relocation of the Navajo, known as the Long Walk, in 1864, Armijo's leadership was crucial. He was responsible for helping to maintain the morale and organization of his people during the arduous journey to Bosque Redondo. This period was marked by an extreme hardship and suffering, and leaders like Armijo played a vital role in helping people survive the ordeal. Armijo was one of the signatories of the Treaty of 1868, which was pivotal in securing the release of the Navajo from the internment and establishing the Navajo Reservation. His involvement in the treaty negotiation was crucial, as he worked alongside other Navajo leaders to ensure that the treaty's terms would allow for a sustainable future for the Navajo people. His negotiation skills were instrumental in ensuring that the Navajo could return to their homeland with conditions that supported their recovery and autonomy. Following the treaty, Armijo's focus was on rebuilding the Navajo community. He deeply restored the social and economic structures necessary for his people to thrive. His post-treaty efforts were crucial in reestablishing the Navajo's traditional life and governance, helping them adjust to life on their lands under the new conditions set by the treaty. Armijo's importance to the Navajo people lies in his unwavering commitment to their survival and prosperity. His leadership during one of the darkest chapters of Navajo history helped to secure a future for his people, preserving their cultural identity and ensuring their ability to self-govern. Today, Armijo is remembered as a resilient and dedicated leader whose contributions were vital to the endurance and resilience of the Navajo Nation. His legacy continues to be a source of inspiration, reflecting the strength and perseverance necessary to overcome adversity and advocate effectively for one's community. Number 5, Largo Hastiin Narbona. Largo, known in Navajo as Hastiin Narbona, meaning big man, was a prominent figure and leader among the Navajo people during the transformative and challenging period in their history. His leadership spanned the years of conflict with U.S. forces, the harrowing experience of the Long Walk, and the subsequent negotiations that led the Treaty of 1868. Largo's stature as a leader was a literal reference to his physical presence and metaphorically resonated through his influence and strength in guiding his people. He was known for his formidable resolve and his ability to inspire and unify the Navajo during great distress. During the Long Walk in 1864, when the U.S. government forcibly relocated the Navajo from their ancestral lands to Bosque Redondo, Largo's leadership qualities were put to the test. He played a significant role in helping his people endure the grueling conditions of the march and the subsequent internment. His efforts during this period were crucial in maintaining the spirits of his people, often advocating for their needs and negotiating with military officials for better treatment. Largo was one of the key Navajo leaders who negotiated the terms of the treaty in 1868 with the United States. This treaty was critical as it allowed the Navajo to return to a portion of their traditional homeland and establish the Navajo reservations. Largo's diplomatic skills were vital in these negotiations, ensuring that the treaty provisions would support the cultural and economic recovery of the Navajo people. After the treaty, Largo played a significant role in reestablishing the Navajo way of life. He focused on rebuilding the community's infrastructure, encouraging the revival of traditional agricultural practices, and rekindling the cultural rights suppressed during the internment. His leadership helped stabilize the Navajo society during its critical post-treaty recovery period. Largo's importance to the Navajo people was rooted in his robust leadership during one of the most trying times, his ability to lead and strengthen and compassion to negotiate under pressure, and his dedication to welfare of all of his people are remembered as a defining attributes of his character. Today, Largo is celebrated as a symbol of resilience and unity, embodying the enduring spirit of the Navajo Nation. His contributions have left a lasting impact, shaping the path toward recovery and self-determination for the Navajo people following the years of hardship. Narbono, Hastiin Narbona. Narbona, known in Navajo as Hastiin Narbona, was one as a revered chief and elder statesman among the Navajo people during the early to mid-19th century. His leadership spanned several crucial decades marked by significant interactions and conflict with the Spanish, Mexican, and later U.S. governments. Narbona's legacy is diplomatic acumen, bravery in battle, and profound influence in Navajo history. Narbona emerged as a leader when the Navajo navigated the complexities of relationships with multiple colonial powers. He was renowned for his wisdom and often sought trade, negotiation, and warfare counsel. His ability to balance traditional Navajo interests with the challenges posed by external pressures was a hallmark of his leadership. Narbono was deeply involved in the defense of Navajo lands against encroachments. He participated in several key battles and skirmishes, but is equally noted for his diplomatic efforts. He negotiated numerous negotiations with the Spanish and later the Mexicans, striving to secure peace and protect Navajo sovereignty. As the United States expanded westward, Narbona's role became increasingly crucial. He was involved in early interactions with American military and government representatives, negotiating to maintain peace and secure the rights of his people. His approach was often blended diplomacy with a readiness to defend Navajo interests, earning him respect among his people and adversaries. Narbona's life ended tragically in 1849 during a conflict with U.S. forces, a pivotal moment that marked a significant escalation in hostilities between the Navajo and the United States. His death was deeply mourned and marked a turning point, signaling a period of increased turbulence and resistance under the subsequent leaders like Manuelito and Barboncito. Narbona's importance to the Navajo people transcends his prowess as a warrior and diplomat. He is remembered as a visionary leader who navigated complex geopolitical landscapes with a profound understanding of the need for resistance and negotiation. His leadership during a formative period helped shape the Navajo response to the challenges of colonization and expansion, setting the stage for future interactions and eventual struggle for sovereignty and treaty rights. Today, Narbono is revered as a figure who embodies the resilience, strategic insight, and enduring spirit of the Navajo Nation. His contributions and leadership inspire respect, and admiration, highlighting Navajo governance and resistance, rich history, and legacy. Thank you very much for reading and listening along. This is Kyle D. Dennison with KLLC.